What's going on, y'all? That boy Gam back in the building, tapping in with y'all one more time. Um, Appreciate everybody for tapping in with me and checking out the channel. All my subscribers, I got over 1,000 subscribers now, so I'm pretty happy about that. Trying to keep it going, man. So shout out to all of y'all who tuning in. And but today I just wanted to get on here and react to a video I saw that was just wild, man. Now, for all you sugar daddies out there, man, all you guys, older men or whatever, giving money to these young girls and tricking off and all the expensive dates and flying them out and trips and stuff like that. This story right here, man, it's a murdered sugar daddy's thumb used to access payment apps. So, pretty much, one of the sugar babies took the sugar daddy's thumb off of his hand. You know, she unalived they unalived him first. Then they took his finger so they can be able to get into his accounts. It's just crazy, man. And I think they said this happened in DC. Yeah, I think it happened in Washington DC, but not all the way sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, man, so y'all can see what I'm talking about.
In a 49-page affidavit filed in D.C. Superior Court, investigators laid out a gruesome and diabolical scheme. The woman on the left, listed as suspect number 1, police say, is 19-year-old Audrey Miller. The woman on the right, listed as suspect number 2, is 22-year-old Tiffany Taylor Gray. According to the
19 years old and 22 years old. Young, man. 19 and 22. They already got this type of mind frame, man. That's wild.
affidavit, Gray and the victim, Fazil Teklemariam, knew each other. The affidavit says one witness told police the 53-year-old was her sugar daddy. In these two photos, police say suspect number 1, Audrey Miller, and Teklemariam are seen together entering his apartment on April 1st. D.C. police believe Fazil Teklemariam had been dead inside his third-floor apartment here on Peabody Street Northwest for about 4 days before his body was discovered. According to a court affidavit filed in the case, he had suffered blunt force trauma to the head, he'd been stabbed, and his right thumb had been cut off. A witness told police that the thumb was used to gain access to a cash app and to buy liquor and drugs. Included in the court affidavit...
Now, see, do you think that somebody's first time ever doing something like this, they would already think, let's take his thumb so we can access his accounts and stuff? Like, to me, that don't sound like an amateur work right there, man. I mean, really. People, let me turn it up a little bit. People saying, they took the thumb to access the accounts. Like, that's some crazy plan and strategy right there, man.
In a 49-page affidavit filed in According to the court affidavit, Gray and the victim, Fazil Teklemariam, knew each other. The affidavit says one witness told police the 53-year-old was her sugar daddy. In these two photos, police say suspect number 1, Audrey Miller, and Teklemariam are seen together entering his apartment on April 1st. D.C. police believe Fazil Teklemariam had been dead inside his third-floor apartment here on Peabody Street Northwest for about 4 days before his body was discovered. According to a court affidavit filed in the case, he had suffered blunt force trauma to the head, he'd been stabbed, and his right thumb had been cut off. A witness told police that the thumb was used to gain access to a cash app and to buy liquor and drugs. Included in the court affidavit, investigators attached numerous photos from surveillance cameras. mounted outside 2 entrances to the building, as well as the foyer and the hallway leading to the victim's apartment. Police say 2 men, one they have identified but not charged, were seen with the 2 women coming and going from the building over several days. Investigators say the suspects used the victim's key fob to get into the building and were seen carrying
See, now that's another lesson right there. Now, what it looked like is that they had 2 other guys that was there, and maybe it wasn't the girls who had this plan, but the dudes probably have done this type of stuff. They might be a little older, and they probably schooling the young girls on what to do, because now you see them coming in and out of his apartment with other guys. They probably set this up the whole time like this, like, oh, y'all go in there, y'all get with the older guy, and you know, we gonna come in and we gonna look like he just had a whole place put down on him that he wasn't expecting, man. So y'all be careful, man.
Out of the apartment. There was also evidence suggesting cleaning agents had been used to conceal or eliminate evidence. Police say they got a couple of breaks in the case. Last year, Teclamariam filed a complaint with D.C. police claiming suspect number 2, Tiffany Taylor Gray, had taken his phone and used it to steal $1,800 from his Cash App. Break number 2 came when investigators learned Teclamariam's cell phone last pinged from a tower in College Park, not far from where Gray rented an apartment. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation says the claim Teclamariam was Gray's sugar daddy has so far not been verified. Investigators believe the victim's severed thumb was used to access his phone. To date, investigators have not found the victim's thumb or the electronics stolen from his home. Audrey Miller is locked up in the D.C. jail and is waiting a preliminary hearing. Gray is in custody in Prince George's County, where she was arrested last week. In the district, Paul Wagner, News 4.
Man,
thanks for watching. Stay up.
Man, that's a cold story right there, man. And see, look, I used to live in Miami, Florida, and I used to see stories like this all the time on the news. Because down there, man, it's going down in Florida, in Miami, Florida. All the sugar daddies and sugar babies, all that thing is heavy out there. And so a lot of times you'll be watching the news or something, and it'll be a picture of 2 young girls' faces on there like, oh, we looking for these 2 young girls because the guy was drugged and, you know, they unalived him, or he was drugged and woke up the next day with all his jewelry gone, all his credit cards gone, money gone. All kind of stuff like that happening all the time, man. Or they'll meet him at the bar, put something in his drink. You know, now next thing you know, they taking his car keys and they dragging him to his own car so they could drive to his apartment. You know, it's just like, it's a cold game out here, man. Y'all just gotta be careful. Dude, he was 53. He was messing with a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old. Like, yeah, man, you never know what somebody might be plotting. So just be careful out there, man. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Till next time, y'all, I'm tapping out.